Hello and welcome to War Eagle Keep. This is the fully guided tour to the digital gaming studio that we have here. I'm going to walk through a couple of things and show you how it all works. First off, in here I'm able to create any sort of scene that I would like to give to the players. It's really big to create immersion with the tools that I have at my disposal. So a couple of things would be hitting a few of the senses, which would be audio and visual effects, to hopefully bring the player into the game. Again, I do that with a number of methods. Sound control is a big part of it. So over here we have the engineering area. Here I can change the volumes of different sources that are coming in. Right now I have some music running and I'm just letting that set a light tone in the space, but also anytime any maps are displayed, I'm able to bring them in. And yeah, so right now there's a coastal cliffside scene set, and I just brought the volume of the sound effects up with that, and then kind of mix that in with the music that I may have playing. Sometimes I may have no music playing, sometimes I may have no effects playing, but there is that option to mix the two depending on how you want the players to feel or experience the game that you're playing in. Also, I use this laptop here to run to the projector. That will be setting just like the visual scene. This is how I use to control it, and then through here I can just choose whatever scene I want to move to. Click on it, goes to the projector. Really quick and simple. That I'm going to use this coastal scene to walk around, and we'll take a look at a few of the different aspects of the studio and how they all work together. So over here, I'm starting to move down the table a little bit. We were looking at the laptop that controls the scenes on the projector, then moving down into the desktop that runs the three screens that are on this table here, and I'll use those for various needs depending on what it is that I'm trying to do. But for the most part, I usually keep it about what you see here. I'll have one screen that's my playlist for music and stuff, and then on the main screen I'll run OBS, and then over on the right screen I usually use that to display my campaign notes. That way I have that screen away from the players and they don't get to peek at the information. We'll walk around and take a look at a couple of other parts of the room. So over here is the DM station, and this is kind of the place that I sit and hang with the players as we play. I'm able to access and reach some of the other stuff that's in this control area, but for the most part this is where I exist, and able to have things like notes here involving the encounter or something to that effect. A lot of times I'll use it for monsters or creatures that we're fighting, and that way I have something quick on hand. I can zoom in and look at attributes, stuff like that. I'll also use this to access D&D Beyond and move that information around or copy paste it, however I need to use it, but having a tablet on hand is pretty major for that. Then also, this is the main screen that I control the maps with on the table. It is tied in through the HDMI cable running out of the second source into the table, and then that way I'm able to run a secondary screen for what I want the players to see, and then over here I can kind of control how I want the scene to be set before I actually show it to them. So for instance, I'll switch over to this forest road here, and then we're going to switch over to a different view so you can take a look at this a little closer. Okay, so here's OBS on this computer here. I've already chosen that I'm in this scene here. I have a couple of enemies in queue, but the players do not see that yet. So I'm able to use a couple of hotkeys here, load the enemies onto the screen, and then another hotkey transitioning to showing the players that on the table. So I'm able to do that once maybe one of them is defeated or all of them are defeated. Wow, they're gone, and then we move on to the next scene. So as I said, I was going to use that kind of coastal cliffside, and then that's going to be where we continue to work. The next thing that I want to talk about is everything you see here, which is basically a webcam for me, single microphone that I use to capture me and the table, the DM screen here, which is, you know, your standard DM screen. However, I have customized and built this to where there's a plexiglass front and then paper inside, so if I want to, I can change what information I have in the DM screen. I haven't gotten too much into that yet, but I had planned in the future to have custom information for the campaign. However, currently I just have it stocked with standard information from the DM screen. Now I've moved over to one of the player positions. You can see here that I have the screen in front of me, and I'm able to grab my token, move it around, be able to interact with other players, and or roll in a dice tower if being used for this game. There's some other features that the players have access to. There's charging under the table. There's also a Wi-Fi router so that they can turn on tablets or computers to use that for game. Also, there is a refrigerator behind me in case players need to get beverages for gameplay. So let's keep moving around. So let's travel around the room a little bit. You'll see the configuration of how everything is built over here. Again, all these tables, they were constructed by me so that they could suit all of these needs. I'm going to move over to engineering. And so you'll see here we have a couple of mixers that just handle what it is that we need to do for audio here. There's also a hotkey wireless keyboard that works with OBS so that I can switch as many scenes as I'd like to. I think I have 50 scenes that I can access if I need to do that on OBS. However, currently with the games I normally manage about 5, which is pretty standard just to get around. So actually moving over to OBS, you know, you'll see here that I have a couple of different overlays rolling. You can see me filming in the background there. That's pretty funny because those cams are active. The DM screen there, you'll see that you're able to see the players and the DM at the same time. This is a campaign that I'm designing right now, Guild of the Blade. And so still just trying to get everything going when it comes to how the design is built for the game. Some other things here, like you know, looks like we're about to have 4 players for this game, so building that and how the cams work and cut so you can see everybody. Alright, thanks for watching. If there's anything that I didn't cover, you can find me over on Instagram at war.eagle.keep, and I'm happy to answer any questions for the setup that you may have. I'm happy to consult on any tech issues you may have. I know that doing this stuff is not commonplace and you can quickly run into roadblocks, but if I were to tell my 14-year-old self that I was going to be playing D&D in a room like this, I would have said you're a liar. But here we are, and you can have a room just like this. It takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a little bit of money, and a touch of know-how. So if you can put all that stuff together and have a drive to play D&D and have fun with it, this is a pretty cool way to do it. So thanks for checking out War Eagle Keep Studio. We're going to be streaming Guild of the Blade pretty soon here, kind of putting all this stuff to the test. We've done a stream before this, Legend Rising, and, you know, getting into DMing for the first time, a lot of players playing for the first time, you know, there was a lot of hiccups, and then even using this setup for the first time, there was just kinks and you know, anything you could think that could go wrong, it can and did, but they're all learning experiences, and happy to be here. And if you want to give us a follow on Instagram, that'd be great. Same here on YouTube, and thanks for watching.